Hey everyone, this episode of the Monday Night Raw After Show on AfterBuzz TV is brought to you and sponsored by Rush. It's directed from top action filmmakers Corridor Digital. It's a story of soldiers fighting against all odds in a war-torn nation. It's starring Stephen Ogg of Grand Theft Auto 5 and The Walking Dead, as well as starring Lou Ferigno Jr. The first episodes are live and free on the Go90 app and their website, www.go90.com. Check it out ASAP. Tonight on the show, on a night where we have a debate, we got nothing but fights. We have rematches, we have challenges, we have a tag team put together, and we have best friends.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
What?
You make me feel...
All right, this is pretty amazing.
Best friend.
No shine.
Yeah, dig it. Woo, it feels good.
You know what? I like it.
You know?
I like it a lot.
To have best friends in your life, it feels good. Welcome everybody to the Monday Night Raw After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. Let's get right into it. I'm Jonny Loquasto. Find me on the Twitter at jquasto. That man right there, you can see him every single week on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood. He is the first progenitor of hyper-optimism. Find him on Twitter at Ty Matthews PMA, because he's Ty Matthews.
What it do, nephew?
What it do, my friend?
So fantastic to be here, as always.
As always, it's frightening season. You're all into it.
Oh, you know me. You know me. It's every weekend, most weeknights too.
You know where I'm going this Thursday?
Where's that?
I spent way too much money on a front of the line pass.
Yes, you did.
Because my friends are making me go to Halloween Horror Nights, and I'm going to urinate myself in public.
Oh, it's gonna be so good.
Sounds like a good
It's
night.
the best night. It's the best year they've ever done, easily.
The zombies are going to be annoying. I'm going to go to the Insidious house and not open my eyes.
There's no Insidious this year.
No.
Wait, what?
Thank God.
There's no Insidious this year, but there's Exorcist.
No.
There's Freddy vs. Jason.
No.
There's Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
No.
There's Krampus.
What?
Wait, what?
Krampus is pretty dope.
I didn't see that movie.
It's really really
see
fun.
it.
Super
Krampus
fun.
is the only
It's
one
like
that
a
doesn't make me
demon
cringe.
Santa Claus. Or
It's really
something?
really fun.
The Exorcist?
That maze is terrifying. Oh yeah.
Did they throw up on you and stuff?
Right. It's very well.
Look,
pea soup everywhere.
The whole group is going, and they're like, you got to get a front of line pass. I'm like, I don't want to spend... All right.
That's the only way to do it.
Anyways.
Yeah, you might as well spend the extra cash.
Next to Ty Matthews, very, very funny actress and improviser, and many shows on AfterBuzz TV. Find her on Twitter at Markeia McCarty. She's Markeia McCarty.
Yeah, that's MarkeiaMcCarty. And thank you. I am glad to be back. So
Absolutely.
yeah.
Welcome back. Glad you're back to tip-top form.
Yes, I am. Absolutely. Tip to the toppest.
Tip it to the toppy.
Dip.
All right, so gang, we... Yeah, that works.
Sure.
Yeah.
So, Monday Night Raw, following up Clash of Champions. I thought it was I really enjoyed Clash of Champions overall. If we're going to get into, since we have to kind of get into it because it is a brand extension battle, if you will, what did you enjoy more, Backlash or Clash of Champions? I'm going to go out and say it. I enjoyed Backlash a lot better. I find it more compelling.
Yeah.
say.
Backlash.
And it's amazing, too, 'cause when the
it.
brand extension first started, everyone's like, oh, man, it's so unfair for Raw. Raw is just so much better.
Right.
I'm like, give it time.
I think they kind of go back and forth. I think part of the problem with Clash of Champions for me is I think my expectations might have been a little high. That card on paper was absolutely phenomenal, and I think while it was a stacked show, I don't think it quite delivered to my expectations.
Well, Cesaro and Sheamus.
that
yes.
God knows, yeah.
I'm
yeah.
glad fans are finally, for the most part, I mean, if you're an intelligent fan, in my opinion, you've been into Cesaro. You've been into
That's
That's
fine.
the team name.
Cesaro.
That's
That's
the team name.
That's the team name,
tag.
guys.
There it
Use it.
is.
That's fine.
Cesaro.
But I think if you're intelligent, you've been into that the whole time. But a lot of people just like, oh, I think Sheamus is boring. They have been killing it every single match. They've been clever and creative and found different ways to end the matches. And the way it ended, I don't think it was what everyone had anticipated, but wow, they really stole the show. And man, when Cesaro landed,
Oh boy.
he proved that he is superhuman.
Yeah,
if
he's
you
a
guys,
Swiss Superman.
If you guys didn't see, do you remember when Lita faced Trish Stratus on Raw and landed on that suicide dive like a scorpion? Now imagine she's a 6'5", 230-pound Swissman.
Yeah.
And boy,
Just terrifying.
that was as Mark Donick would say, Gross.
It was disgusting.
Yucky.
I had to watch.
I expected him to have cracked something important. You
It
know?
terrified me. I had to watch late because we had championship wrestling taping, and so I was watching at like 11 o'clock at night. And one of my roommates had gone to sleep already, but I had my bedroom door open, so I was watching. And when he hit his head, I just yelled like, "Yeah!" And she comes out, she goes, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, wrestling." She's like, "Oh God," and she went back to sleep. I was so good, like that. Really,
Yeah.
I know.
really.
The lie was so happy to see him up and walking on two legs like a human person.
You know what it is? He is so strong that I think his muscles protected.
I'm sure that helped for sure.
I had to something like that. 'Cause I was watching the debate while I was watching Raw. I was at a debate party tonight.
Oh wow!
Yeah.
What was the party? I'm sure the party must have been a blast.
Oh,
the two
everybody
candidates
had bits.
nobody likes.
Everybody had bits.
Oh,
it was
I bet.
bitful.
I bet.
But no, it obviously showed a repeat of that. Well, just like in still frames. And I was eating, I don't know, I was eating something or other.
A popcorn ball.
Something. I was eating
Something
something.
fun?
And then like that came up and I went, ah! They were like, oh my God, what's wrong with the food? Are you okay?
Now just imagine you did like a super like vaudevillian spit take just all over the person next to you.
Yeah. Just insane. But overall, I mean, yeah, Backlash was definitely enjoyable. I mean, I thought the women were amazing as well.
Sure.
But overall, it just seemed like the stories weren't quite there overall, and I'm really disappointed that. And look, I'm one of the few adults that don't hate on Roman Reigns. I like what he does. I just thought Rusev had a lot more legs in his title reign.
Right.
Don't you?
Yeah.
Sure. And it is a little weird to see them putting over Reigns' U.S. title win as this like momentous occasion when like it's really a demotion for him, given what was happening just 6 months ago.
I mean, it was impressive how he powered out of the accolades. You know, that was pretty well done. But I was so surprised Rusev didn't win.
I mean,
I expected there to be more of a chase.
on paper. On paper, I would have expected Rusev to win. As soon as we got to the match and I realized that there hadn't been a single title change in the night, I figured, oh, this is gonna be the one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure what the plan is, to be honest. Maybe this will be a battle that continues for a while, because I do like their chemistry.
The plan is always just make people like Roman a little.
But that's not...
That's the end game.
And then honestly, who doesn't Rusev have chemistry with?
It's true.
Yeah.
He could work with anybody.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's disappointed. I really would have liked to see that title reign continue. But as far as Monday Night Raw goes, well, speaking of Roman Reigns and Rusev, we have a rematch right off the top. And, this match went through 2 commercial breaks.
One thing I realized both last night and tonight is they're really, really giving guys a lot of time, which I'm digging.
Yeah.
Like last night, I felt like a lot of matches got way more time than they would have, which obviously is to be expected with brand-specific pay-per-views. But it's good to see some good, substantial matches.
I enjoyed it. I love the fact that it did start off slower, because naturally it would. You have 2 guys that are beat up. You're not going to just go right into it. You're going to, work on some holds, wear your opponent down, and then it really ramped up.
Yeah.
Towards the end.
I mean, Rusev with that kick.
Eey.
I was like, woo, you pulled something with that one.
Yeah, for sure. And then, of course, it ends with a double countout. They end up going over the barricade outside the ring. And then chair shots galore. I love the fact Roman jumped over the steps, went for the Superman punch, and then Rusev, the camera angle was perfect because we didn't know Rusev had the chair. Just bam, right in the tummy. And then, of course, Roman gets his comeuppance, ends up grabbing the chair, beats up Rusev, sits down, shows the title, and then it was like, you know what? What the hell? Hits him with the chair.
Why not?
I dug that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah, that was. Was that Tammy the Tummy?
I was just thinking that. That was a weird pull from commentary.
Corey Graves kills me. Like, I rarely laugh at commentary anymore because it's hard to get like funny commentary that's relevant.
Sure.
Yeah.
Graves got me twice tonight, which I'm trying to think of what match it was. It was right during the Bailey match. So
Yeah.
we'll talk about that.
I know you like the Bailey. one.
Bobby Ramos says, "Thank you for saying tummy, Johnny."
Oh, Naughty Bob. I love Naughty Bobby.
Kamani Brooks says, "Why do you still have a roommate? I live in Hollywood, dude. Everyone has roommates.
Yeah, to be fair, yeah.
If I lived in anywhere that was affordable in the country, yeah, I'd be by myself.
Oh my God. It's like my rent. I pay what my parents paid for mortgage, and they have like a 5-bedroom house. I'm like, okay, yeah, me.
When I talk to
dream, y'all.
seriously, when I talk to my friends back home and like my friends that live in different parts of the country, I'm like, you paid what for that house?
Right.
I could buy a house? What?
Yeah.
No.
This whole
Not out here. This whole gimmick we're living?
it's for the birds, guys.
It's for the big birds, man. Anyways, speaking of big birds, we got Mark Donica on the 1s and 2s. Everyone say hi to him. Ooh, ooh.
I am not yellow, contrary to popular opinion.
Recent birthday boy.
Yeah.
It was pretty recent. Thank you, Ty Matthews.
Happy birthday, Mark.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, everybody, and thanks for all the wishes on social media. I love you. And actually, Johnny, I have a present that I want to give to you, actually.
Oh, no.
Ooh.
What is it? Oh, God. Damn it, I knew.
Oh, I got so excited.
I knew.
Oh, it's the perfect day.
Even without him having a match.
You can't escape it.
Oh, anyways. So double count out. I don't think this feud's going anywhere, and I'm totally okay with that. Second, Mick Foley brings out Sheamus and Cesaro and says, essentially, look, you both deserve a title opportunity. I can't choose who's better. Sheamus is like, I was more physically dominant. Cesaro's like, nah. And so this is kind of what a couple of us maybe thought would happen. He says, you have the opportunity to team up and go after the tag team titles on whoever wins this next match. And, of course, they didn't like it. Mm-hmm. I like it.
I liked it, and I liked how it ended. Like, it's like, oh, no, you can't talk about anything because here we go. The next match is starting.
Right.
Yeah, it's like,
I wish more segments ended like that. Like, no, you don't get to say anything else because we have a match. This is a wrestling program.
All right, let's keep it going.
We gotta keep it moving, guys.
It worked. I love this. I really do believe, like, when you watch Cesaro and Sheamus, they have good chemistry as enemies. I dig it.
Well, and I think once we get past that part of the arc, and if we do get to a point where they start kind of getting along and becoming a fully functioning team, like that's a dope team on paper. Mm-hmm. So I think that could be really, really cool.
Do you think it's going to be one of those like Team Hell No deals where they constantly don't get along the entire time, or do you ever think they will actually?
I think at some point they'll probably unite against a common enemy and just become like straight up hosses, just beating the hell out of everyone.
And I kind of like the Hell No idea. I'd love that. Actually, they're just completely butting heads each time, but they're still winning.
Which makes you wonder, how long did the New Day keep those titles? Because them feuding with the New Day, I mean, I would think maybe New Day turns heel again, or Gallows and Anderson. I mean, they're at 400 days. The question is, do they really want them to break the demolition record, or do they want to put it on Gallows and Anderson?
Well, what exactly is the demolition record? How much longer do we have?
478 days, I believe. Ish.
It's around Survivor Series time.
At this point, I would say probably yes. And I think having Sheamus and Cesaro maybe just work on their teamwork in the interim, and maybe get the opportunity, come up short, but realize like, oh, maybe we're onto something, you know. I think that could be where we're headed.
I gotta say, I'm shocked. I'm really surprised that 478 days is the longest title reign.
Right.
I thought there were, because back in the day, title reigns went way longer. And
But I mean, singles reigns did. I think tag team, for some reason, has always been treated a little bit differently.
Yeah, for some reason, as a kid, I just felt like Demolition was always the champs.
But I mean, if you think about it, 478 days in that era where there wasn't even Raw. Like, imagine now there's so many hours of content to fill, but back then you had 4 pay-per-views a year, maybe superstars on Saturdays.
Which you're beating, guys that aren't.
You're beating tomato cans week after week after week.
Yeah. I didn't want to. I was trying to think of the right word. I don't like using the word job or something like that. Who you beating?
Come on.
Yeah.
Enhancement talent, if you'd like.
There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it was it is interesting, and that just shows how entertaining New Day has been. Because don't forget, they were heels, they were good guys, and now they're whatever they are,
right?
And so they're still bringing it. And well, let's get right into it. Gallows and Anderson taking on the New Day. Gosh, so many near falls here. Kofi gets colored up with blood. I don't know where it happened. Did it happen in the stairs? I couldn't tell.
I don't know. I just saw after it happened, and
that was rough.
I was just like, oh, whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's always a little concerning.
You saw Dr. Woods run in there right quick with that towel.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, and then he had his face covered. I'm like, oh God, please don't let it just start coming through. And
Yeah.
And if you notice, they took the camera and put it on the 3 announcers quick.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
But man, what a way to end it. When they hit the Magic Killer, I was like, yo, they're about to win these titles.
I really thought
on
they were
day
going
400.
to.
Yeah.
I really thought they were going to for sure. After I already wasn't expecting New Day to retain last night, but after that, I thought for sure, especially once they announced the rematch, that okay, it's going to be
400
a nice
days.
even number. Right, exactly.
yeah, for me, anything past SummerSlam is just gravy at this point because I kind of expected it to
Past the
happen.
year mark.
Exactly.
Right.
So I kind of expected it, then. So I'm.
And I dig how they won it on a treble. I like how both teams can defeat you without just one combination move. Like I like how the Trouble in Paradise got the win. But man, Kofi, it looked like, I don't know where he got marked up, maybe somewhere in the forehead. It was really all over the place.
Sure.
Yeah.
And the way he looked afterwards, I just love the fact that, yeah, New Day's funny and they're entertaining, but this was a match where they got beat up. And I love the fact that it showed Big E outside the ring. He's completely out of it. It shows Kofi in the ring. He's completely just on Dream Street. Love that. It just, to me, it gives them more depth.
Exactly. Yeah. Everyone has to be shades of gray in 2016. You can't just be a straight up comedy act. You have to be able to do both and do both well.
Yeah.
You know, if you're too much of one or the other, who cares?
It's kind of like a little bit of a revisit back to the compound when they were.
Sure.
A little bit.
Yeah, they were getting that, that ish handed to them.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And the question is now, what happens with Gallows and Anderson? I mean, is this feud over? I mean, they've now lost.
I mean, it
twice.
has to be. Like, where else can you go with it?
I don't know. Which is a bummer because I think Gallows and Anderson should absolutely be tag team title holders.
Sure. At the very, I'll settle for them being a credible threat at this point. Like, I don't think their whole comedy run in that program with the New Day did them any favors.
No. I'm glad they.
It wasn't funny enough to get over how much personality those guys really have.
Yeah.
And it took away from how much of a badass team they were in Japan.
Yeah. Like the first one was good and funny. And then it just got weird with the retirement stuff. And then doing live comedy in the ring.
Yep.
With a team that didn't seem like they were that well versed in being able to hit that kind of entertainment.
Sure.
So
For me, Gallows and Anderson, if they're going to do anything comedy-wise, they're the kind of dudes that walk into a bar, grab a guy by his collar, and run him down the bar, knocking all the glasses over and throw him off. They're Roadhouse comedy. That's the kind of comedy that Gallows and Anderson should be doing. Not, don't get me wrong, I did laugh a couple of times at the whole doctor thing. Doctor, I love that.
yeah,
But
the first one.
Yeah, they're the kind of comedy
Doctor.
that they walk in a place and just start beating people up and they laugh while doing it.
Yeah, they're both. I think their wheelhouse is when they're so over the top. Like when Gallows, I don't know if you've heard any of his podcasts, but when he does like Talking Shop and he does kind of this old school wrestler voice.
Southern accent?
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
The Good Brother, yeah, exactly. When he does that, when Carl Anderson is going over the top. I mean, I remember in 2007 during EWF days, he was talking about his hot Asian wife back then, but he just going so over the top, cranking it up to 11. I think if you let them just completely let loose, that might get people more on board. But at this point, they're sort of having to rein it in and do kind of this neutered version of the act.
I guess. I don't know. I would love to see them stay near the top of the division.
Right.
But I don't know. Maybe they're going to ramp up the whole Sheamus Cesaro thing quickly. I don't know.
We'll see.
Well, they need somebody to fight, and it can't just be New Day all the time.
Right.
Yeah, we will see. So yeah, Mick Foley backstage. I'm sorry, actually, first thing, WWE.com caught Triple H picking up Stephanie last night. A little drama for you there. Mick Foley convincing Sheamus and Cesaro to team up backstage. And this is what I said a couple of weeks ago. Mick Foley is not just there, he is there. Like, he's so invested. And he said, you guys proved you could steal the show on a really good show. He's like, I can't put you out there for the 8th time. I can't risk losing one or both of you. Please try and see if the magic is there. Sometimes you could have two guys who don't like each other that could have magic. Just see and show the universe what I've known all along, that you guys are amazing. Like, he was damn near in tears.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
And they made the right connection, connecting it to the Rock and Sock connection.
Of course.
The trying to catch lightning in a bottle.
Yeah.
Man. And did you see like Sheamus's face when he's standing there and he has Mick Foley just giving this inspirational speech? I was like, yes, That's what we're here for.
It was great. If people weren't on, I don't know if you heard the crowd, but if people weren't on board with them teaming up after hearing Mick Foley say it, because people, even the smarkiest of fans, trust what Mick Foley says.
Sure.
And for example, after SummerSlam, when the fans were stupid about the title and Mick chastised them for it, a lot of those idiots realized, oh yeah, I'm a stupid idiot for making fun of the title. I think Mick Foley saying all those things about Sheamus and Cesaro, which were absolutely true. He wasn't just fluff. Everything he said was true. They were amazing. They are amazing. They put on an incredible best of 7 series, and it needs to be recognized. And they could have magic as a team. I think even the smarkiest of fans were like, oh yeah, he's right.
Yeah, and I think the proximity to someone as universally beloved as Cesaro may be what Sheamus needs, because it's never he's not a bad performer. That's never been a problem.
He's fantastic in the ring. Are you kidding me?
He just hasn't. I don't think he's been given anything substantial to work with, and so I think this proximity with, like I said, with someone as beloved as Cesaro could really pull something out of him.
He actually said the same exact thing last week on the Wrestling and Padres Slamcast on Fox Sports. We had him on the show.
Look at that.
Nice.
And he said, he's like, I love this best of 7 series because for a long time I would have things kind of start and then they would stop, kind of start, then they would stop. He's like, I just want something I could really go into.
Sure.
And so he's loving it.
That's good. I'm glad that both of them have this now.
Yep.
I mean, I enjoy them both big time. Cesaro a little bit more, but it's like minuscule how much more I enjoy Cesaro.
Cesaro needs to just be careful, man.
Right.
Oh,
right.
Oh, Lord.
Because I'm trying
Take
to
care of
figure
yourself,
out.
buddy.
Yeah.
Right. I'm trying to figure out why he landed the way he did because.
It's the fact that he's a behemoth of a man doing a suicide dive.
I know, but his arms, it's not like they got caught up on Sheamus or anything. And you can see Sheamus trying to protect
No, but his
him.
legs did.
Yeah.
When you're 6'5", 230 pounds, and you're busting out suicide dives like it's nothing, they're not all going to be zingers.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're going to catch those gigantic tree trunk legs on the ropes and pile drive yourself and look like a human scorpion.
That's what happened. And Sheamus tried his best to reach out and protect him. It was just
It just wasn't going to happen.
nothing you can do at that point.
I'm just glad we didn't have a repeat of like with Finn or anything.
Sure.
And then meanwhile Cesaro gets up and works tonight.
And that's the thing. It's always the most gnarly looking moves that don't end up doing any lasting damage.
I mean, I'd like to think they did a test or two on him just to make sure that he didn't get a stinger or anything like that.
I'm sure they did. Yeah.
Hopefully
but I mean, like moves like that look like death are far more often they end up being fine. Whereas buckle bombs into the barricade or even in the corner, as we've seen,
that's true,
don't end up the greatest.
Next up, what's up?
Real quick, I love what Green Thunder said. It's like James Bond teaming up with a Bond villain.
That's really good. I like
actually
that. I like
really
that a
like
lot.
that.
That's actually really good.
I can dig that.
I dig that.
For sure. Next up, Bayley on his way to the ring, and Bayley on her way to the ring, I should say.
How dare you?
Oh, stop. Will you stop?
Defending Bayley, Mark.
Didn't get me that time. This is where Corey Graves killed me.
Right.
Bayley comes out, and Byron loses his mind as per usual, and the balloons go up, and Corey goes, I'm going to start bringing darts to work.
I did the visual. I appreciated the visual of that. Just Corey from the announce table.
And then they did the thing for
the inflatable flailing arm.
The wacky wavy inflatable arm flailing tube men.
Yeah. Oh.
Then they did a thing for Ride Along, and he revealed that Byron calls his stomach Tammy or something.
So weird.
And Byron says something weird, and he just goes, Byron, why don't you go feed Tammy?
So much hate for Byron.
Dude, but Corey does it so well. Like,
it's great.
so hard to say funny things on commentary and still keep them relevant, and Corey finds a way to do that.
Yeah, he's been nailing it for sure.
I appreciate, because there's nothing harder. One thing I've learned from doing commentary is, because in the past I've tried to be funny, and don't ever try to be funny on commentary. It's got to be natural, and Corey is a natural at it.
Yeah,
it's just so.
And I don't think Byron gets enough credit for playing the sad sack of the bunch.
Yeah,
like
he's kind of the scapegoat for everything.
Sure, he's got a great gig, and he knows it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So own it, and he does.
Seems like he's having fun. So.
Absolutely. So Bayley defeats Anna Fields. I like how Anna was aggressive though, right off the top.
Yeah, exactly. Why not?
Yeah. She looked really good. Like you could tell she works a lot.
Yeah, and she was clocking. She was getting some good hits in too.
It was, yes, she was. And Bayley to belly for the win, of course. And afterwards, Tom Phillips in the ring with her, and she says, Sasha and Charlotte, they've proven that they're at the top of the division, but they're going to see me again. Boomtown. That's that.
Dig it.
Yeah.
Dig it.
All good.
So backstage, Mick, another great segment, although Steph really controlled this one. Woo! He's not happy with Steph because in his eyes, she kind of ruined the main event. And she's like, no, sir, it's your job to protect the integrity of the main event. I hired you for your brains and to be a businessman. Think with your head, not with your heart. Don't let your ego get in the way. Do I make myself clear? And Mick looked like a scolded child.
Yeah.
With a beard.
I agreed with Stephanie on this one. I mean, people were starting to overstep their boundaries. I think that they were buying into Seth Rollins's talk lately. Yeah, she got into a limousine with her husband. That's her husband. I know it sucks for Seth right now with like Kevin Owens being on top and being the Universal Champion, or being half of the Universal Champion, since the other half is Jericho. But they were overstepping some boundaries, and Stephanie had to do some SmackDown without the slap.
I wasn't crazy about it. It's the same stuff I say every week. It's making one of your most powerful authority figures on the show look like a complete idiot by having him be dressed down and literally have nothing to say in response. Like the fact that he can't even stand up for himself. He obviously has grounds and reason to think like, oh, maybe something's going on.
Sure.
But when something like this happens, and like I would like to think that it's leading somewhere where Stephanie gets her comeuppance.
You would think.
Never happens.
Well,
how's Mick gonna get his comeuppance on Stephanie?
Mick makes the matches, so he can make a match against Stephanie.
With who?
I would love that.
With
I don't
himself?
know anybody. Damn.
You think she
Her and
wouldn't?
Jax.
She wouldn't just straight up, just verbally castrate him all over again
Doesn't matter.
and just fire him? Why wouldn't she just fire him then? She's clearly the one in authority.
Because
got
it
a
wouldn't be
match
good
later
for business. She would never fire Mick.
Of course she would.
Well,
she was
it wouldn't
literally
stick.
she was literally just threatening to do that just tonight.
But she didn't fire him.
In this very segment.
She can threaten because she's Stephanie McMahon. She threatens all the time. You know,
But he's not bringing any eyeballs to the show in theory. Like she, in her eyes, he's completely replaceable. That's why she said that she would just make him an ambassador.
she did say that.
she did. She said, if you want to be an ambassador, I can make you one.
Yeah, which basically meant, hey, you're replaceable. You mean nothing to the show.
I think it was like she was saying, hey, you have to step up and be this businessman, which is why I have you as my number one.
But every time he tries to, she just completely oversteps him.
Well, he was kind of getting in her face with stuff, so I think that's why she started.
He wasn't getting in her
smacking.
face at all.
He did go to her to talk to her and say, I really think that, I'm kind of disappointed because I look like a fool because I believed in you and I believe what you said. And last night you kind of proved that you are out to get Seth Rollins. So.
Exactly. He hemmed and hawed and was gentle as he could be without getting in her face. And then she completely dresses him down. And like I said, it's not going to a place where she's going to get any comeuppance.
Maybe.
That's what's so frustrating about these.
You might be right.
Okay.
But I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess we'll just have to see.
It's like I said, it's nothing new. It's the same thing I say every single time there's one of these segments because it never changes.
I do enjoy their chemistry together, though. I mean,
I do like it. I like the back and forth.
Yeah.
Or I know Stephanie's.
the point.
I know Stephanie's doing more.
It's fourth and fourth and fourth and no back.
Yeah.
So
Mick did have a lot of great moments tonight, and I just felt
did.
that was one of them. Too,
he
though.
did. No, he did. But he had so many great moments. That's what's so frustrating is when he looks like a complete moron in segments like this.
I don't thought he looked like a
don't
moron
think
at
he looked
all.
like a
He
moron.
absolutely.
That's
Are you
the
kidding?
thing.
With the way he was stuttering and just kind of like looking down at the ground like a child.
That wasn't like moron though. It was kind of like the air got taken out of his sails, but it wasn't that he was a moron.
That's what he's being made to look like for sure. The fact that he sees a segment that's as clear as Stephanie being in on this, and then him positing such a theory gets him just completely screamed at.
Well, yeah, she does have anger management issues.
Yeah.
That is not that's something that's well known. So that's not a secret.
And just the best part of the Mr. McMahon character is that he showed his ass constantly. That was the best part of the Austin McMahon
Right.
feud.
He always got his comeuppance.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Stephanie not so. It's been a while since we've kind of seen that.
Yeah, and okay, maybe
It
she
would be a nice change.
Maybe she accidentally gets speared once a year, but then she's back on Raw, slapping people in the face and threatening to fire him.
Sure. Bring up a good point.
Yeah, it would be a nice change of pace if they started mixing it up a little bit.
Oh, it'd be great.
That is very
Great change
true.
of pace.
And it could lead to a war between, obviously, Daniel Bryan, Shane getting along great, not so much Steph and Mick, which, I like the fact that there could be something down the road.
Sure.
All right, Cruiserweight time. Rich Swann and Cedric Alexander taking on Drew Gulak and Lince Dorado. They actually called him Gulak,
That was killing me.
which is so funny.
Come on.
Unless they changed it, but
No.
I don't know. Did Drew officially sign? I guess.
I don't know if I didn't hear that he officially did, but I mean,
Great to see him.
yeah. I think maybe guys like him and Tony Nese are maybe getting week-to-week deals. Who knows?
Maybe, but I know, Corey's a big fan of Drew, and it was great to hear the good things he said about him. And, what a match. Obviously, Rich
I like that
Swann.
Dragon sleeper move.
Oh,
So
Drew's
that's-
fantastic.
That's nice.
I mean, less than 6 months ago, he was when were they? No, earlier this year, they were the tag team champs for Championship Wrestling Hollywood.
Gulak and Thatcher, sure.
Two of the greatest submission wrestlers in the world.
So good.
Nice.
And that's my favorite type of wrestling. I can watch him for hours.
Dude, I love calling those kind of matches because I could bring out the PT skills and say exactly what body parts they're
Yeah,
showing.
exactly.
Like, I just say vertebral artery a bunch of times. Great.
Sure.
So fun. But yeah, it's amazing to see him on Raw. He's a great dude and so talented. And that's a great thing about the Cruiserweight Classic. Every single person in that tournament has been in the game for a long time and has earned an opportunity. And that's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
And what a match. Starting off right away, Rich Swann and Lince Dorado showing the athleticism. The lumbar check that Cedric did.
God. Oh, boy, that was nasty. Hoo, boy.
Yeah.
That was, a little bit more on the neck than it usually is.
Insane. Right on Lince Dorado. And then a beautiful suplex from Drew Gulak. But Swann gets in there with the rich kick and a roll-up for the win. But I enjoy the fact that they were two different. There it is.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Rich Swann kind of has that. Oh God, what's his name? What the 5 fingers say to the face?
Rick James?
Slap.
He's kind of got that little bit of a Rick James flair going
All right.
on.
All right. He
I like
did.
when he was dancing around.
Oh, sure. Yeah. All night long was his thing on the Indies. He would come
yeah.
out to Lionel
there
Richie.
we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Big time. I just
got
love
that
the fact
old
that,
school flavor.
we saw 2 Cruiserweight matches tonight.
Yeah.
Which is super cool. And, we're starting to see kind of storylines. Like, right now, it's still a showcase. Like, let's get all the Cruiserweights out there, and let's see what works, which I
Right.
think it's all going to work pretty well.
Sure.
Yeah.
But I dug it.
And they're getting multiple segments, to tell multiple stories.
Next up, Sheamus and Cesaro do team up. I honestly did not catch the names of who they defeated.
Nick Cutler and Willis Williams.
Willis
It was
Cutler.
Willis Williams. Nick Cutler and Willis Williams.
Willis Cutler. Okay.
Willis Williams.
The Cutler boys.
It was Nick Cutler and Willis Williams.
Tell his chat room. It's just. in
It was
case.
Nick Cutler and Willis Williams.
Okay.
According to
saying
Curtis,
Okay.
according to Curtis, he has 4 O's. WWE has added Gulak and Nese to the Raw roster on the website. Well,
Dope.
hey,
Oh, nice.
Dope.
dude, way to go, gentlemen.
Absolutely.
Heck yeah.
Gulak, go watch some Gulak. Go watch some Gulak and watch some Thatcher as well. Tim Thatcher.
Oh, Timothy Thatcher.
Gorgeous.
I know there's tons of interest in Thatcher. I think it's been his choice to not go there yet.
Really?
Yeah, that's
God, he would have been such a good addition to that tournament.
absolutely. And he's one of the most respectful people I've ever been around.
Oh, sure.
Like, every time I see him, big hug, handshake, how are you, sir?
How you doing, sir?
Meanwhile, he could rip my arm off its socket.
Easily.
Just great.
I love that guy. Yeah.
And Tony Nese, which we'll get to in just a bit. But, yeah, so Tom Phillips with... so Sheamus and Cesaro win.
And
Cesaro.
the kind of the
Cesaro
game of
wins.
one-upsmanship. Cesaro's about to hit the neutralizer, and Sheamus just says, "No, we're gonna win with a brogue kick instead."
No, I just liked during the entire match. It was like, no, I'm going in now.
Right.
No, it's my turn.
Right.
This is how this works.
Pretty awesome. Tom Phillips with TJ Perkins. He gets interrupted by Brian Kendrick, and Kendrick says, "You owe me. That title was resurrected for me." And, of course, he used to train TJ. And so I really dig the dynamic here. And he says, "Next time we meet, it'll be when you wake up from the dream, and I'll be the champion."
I love this. We talked about it a little before we went live. This version of Brian Kendrick is so, like, it's darkest timeline Kendrick. I love it so much. And he's wily, and he's just like this sort of scavenger that's willing to do anything.
And that's what I was hoping we would get, because Brian Kendrick is one of the greatest talkers, without a doubt the best talker in the Cruiserweight division. I mean, there were moments, I forget, maybe 5 years ago, he had a run in TNA. He was the reason I tune in every week.
Yeah.
He's that compelling of a guy.
Absolutely, yeah. And he's such an eccentric guy. But that's why that headbutt after the match last night was such a good moment.
Great. It really adds more to it. And now we actually have our first storyline in the division. So party on.
Yeah. Seems
Speaking
like
of,
it was a fantasy come true.
Speaking of fantasies come true, DraftKings, y'all, at DraftKings.com, you don't have to come in first place to cash in, right? The player who finished 800th in Week 1's biggest fantasy football contest took home $100, all right? So this weekend, DraftKings is hosting another huge fantasy contest. You could win over $1 million, and there's many, many prizes up for grabs. DraftKings is the destination for 1 week fantasy football. That means no season-long commitments. You don't want to commit for 17 weeks.
No.
You don't got to. Just 1 week.
No, just a little bit.
Just
Let's
jump
customize
in.
it.
A little bit. Play whenever you want with the players you want. Pick the contest, your draft, your team, and you follow the action live. Renew old rivalries with friends, family, coworkers, and find out who the real boss of a GM is. Whenever you feel your fantasy expertise is ready, DraftKings has something for you. So don't wait. Go to DraftKings.com now. Choose your players for this weekend's contest. Enter the promo code BUZZ, that's B-U-Z-Z, and play for free with your first deposit. That's promo code BUZZ for free. Playing this weekend, you may win over $1 million. If that's the case, you hook us up a little bit.
Yeah.
You could be our fourth next week if you win $1 million.
There you go.
Heck yeah.
Show up.
And take us to WrestleMania.
That's right.
Because it's in Orlando.
Only
we gotta go.
Only at DraftKings.com. That's DraftKings.com. Eligibility restrictions may apply. See the website for details, y'all. Bam. All right. This is Charlotte.
And there have been a couple of requests just for, Rusev tweets.
Oh, man.
Okay. We'll get to it.
There we go.
That's one thing that has escaped me. Well, the Wi-Fi is struggling big time tonight here. So let me see. Let me see what I can find.
Let me see if I can pull one up.
And then just slide.
Yeah.
Slide
Yep,
your phone
exactly.
over.
Here it is.
It's like, read this one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Be like, wait, this is one of your tweets from your own TL. Be like, ha ha ha.
I got you.
Yeah.
Be like, follow Ty Matthews, be me.
I want to make an image of Johnny on Ty's body. That'd be weird.
Yeah,
That'd be very
and that
weird.
sounded creepy, Mark.
It'd be very weird. But I feel you. I feel you on that.
That would be the best picture ever.
Work your magic, Mark Donica.
Yep.
You're mad scientist.
Do it.
So
weird, Mark.
Charlotte hits the ring. She says, I keep disappointing all you fans because the hugger and then the internet darling, neither one are better than me. I'm just better than everybody else. Sasha hits the ring and says, look, I wasn't pinned. I still want my rematch. She calls her Queen Charles. She wants the rematch now. She's like, fine, I'll give you a rematch next week in Los Angeles. And Sasha said, I'm going to take back my title. And guys, what does the 5 fingers say to the face?
Slap!
Oh, there you go.
Oh, boy.
And then the bank statement on Dana Brooke. Sasha ends up tossing them both out. Bada boom, bada bang. Next week, we got women's title on the line. I got Rusev's page. I'm good.
Did you? Okay.
You got it?
Because now I'm just enjoying his timeline.
Yeah, I enjoyed this little bit where she takes off the robe, yeah, let's do this. This is happening next week. The
Classic.
queen has spoken.
Classic.
Yep. So yeah, we got that happening next week in LA. Are you guys going to Raw, by the way?
I am not.
I'm gonna try to,
But
probably I won't be here.
I'll be going to NXT at the Palladium at the end of October.
Nice.
Excited about that.
Ooh, I did not know about that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Going with Jeff Resnick,
Oh, sweet.
former Championship Wrestling from Hollywood announcer.
Have not seen him in a while.
He's a great guy.
Yeah.
Love Jeff Resnick.
So very cool. I don't know if I'm going yet, but I'll find out this week.
Do it.
So that's happening next week. Backstage, Seth and Mick Foley. Rollins says, I don't care what you say. I'm going out there for the highlight reel. Mick's like, no, please don't do it. He's like, I see you talking, but all I hear is Steph's words. Quick rip.
Ooh, that was a really nice burn too. Yep.
I thought they were gonna go like the Orange County route with Jack Black. And I said, I'm gonna do it. And I said, you better not. You better not. It's always one of my favorite pulls. J-Lo, where are you going? Where are you?
I'm trying to find Rusev tweets.
There you are.
Oh, okay.
Got it. Well, while we're talking about
Yeah,
Rusev,
there's not a lot this week. I'm not gonna lie. TJ Perkins and Tony Nese. Ty, take it away.
I love this more than anything. I love TJ Perkins' new entrance.
Good lord.
Yeah. Wait, play it. Are you playing it?
Is this the new music? This music. Oh man. I don't know if you ever played the side-scrolling Scott Pilgrim game, but a band called Anamanaguchi did the soundtrack, and they deal in chiptune similar to this, and it's amazing. And that's why this song super resonates with me. I love that his entrance has the character select, the HP, all that good stuff.
It's our generation.
Exactly. More than that, Tony Nese is a freak of nature in every way possible. Like, it's insane, the agility that he has, the speed that he has, the power that he has.
Oh, dude.
He really is kind of the total package.
I remember a couple of years ago at the Wrestling Cares tournament, it was a year-long tournament, he was one of the people. It was kind of like the Cruiserweight Classic, only there was no weight restriction.
Right.
And I got to call, he was in it, I got to call a couple of his matches, and I remember, I was like, dude, that guy is a freak of nature.
Yeah, the fact that he's under 205 is stupid.
Yeah.
Man.
It was like, no, he's like negative 0.5 body fat.
Right. Yeah, he's amazing.
So it's great that he's also part of the division now.
Yeah. But yeah, this match was awesome.
It was great.
Yeah, next, well, guess what, guys? We got some best friends. Ashton Kutcher and Danny Masterson decided to put a video out to Jericho saying, you are not best friends with Kevin Owens. We are best friends.
That's a hefty claim.
Yeah.
BT Dubs, TJ Perkins over with the knee bar in the non-title match.
And I love the fact that, submission.
After, was a detonation kick.
Yes.
Yeah, that was a sweet kick.
Yeah.
I like that.
Love it. So, yeah, they're coming to Raw in LA next week. I don't know what's going to happen exactly, but it's probably going to be pretty good.
Yeah, I'd like to see a little mano-a-mano between them and Jericho.
Jericho's so on point right now.
Oh, my God.
Manos on manos.
Manos on manos.
No.
Yeah. I mean, they could do that. That'd be fun.
Sure.
It'd be a fun little segment.
It will be. And speaking of Manos, how about some Matchka?
There we go.
Ah,
How about
nice
that?
segue.
So it's now time for Rusev tweets. Yes. September 20th. Wow, what an amazing actress Lana WWE is. That accent, exclamation point. Hashtag interrogation. And also, good part by You Think You Know Me, ... Edge rated R.
It's so weird. I love it. This Twitter's the best.
It's pretty awesome. So there we go. Next up, Jericho. It is time for the highlight reel. And he says, how dare you two mutton heads, Ashton and Masterson, insinuate you're better.
Ashton Kutcher.
Yeah, right. I was going to say wrong. Oh, so great. You insinuate you're better friends than me and Kevin Owens, my best friend. I don't think so. And then the cameraman got the wrong angle. He's like, now you're on the list.
Kutcher and Masterson made the list. The cameraman made the list.
Yeah, just berating the cameraman.
So
like,
good.
I told you this side. This side's what you're on the list.
So good.
And then on the back it just says the list of
The list of Jericho. and he said that Ashton Kutcher and Danny Masterson wouldn't like it when they got it.
It.
Hell
yeah.
I love this entire segment.
This whole segment,
This
beginning to end,
entire
was
segment.
the best highlight reel in a very, very, very long
It's like
time.
the pinnacle of Jericho.
Yeah.
Everything about it was so fun.
It really, and it's like I said, it's because it's such a throwback to 90s WCW Jericho, to the man of 1,004 holds, where every other hold was armbar, where he was on the step of the Capitol building, complaining about being a conspiracy victim. We may even see Ralphus.
I'll tell you what, everything he's doing. I mean, the fact that he just sneaks in, we are the Universal Champion.
Yes.
So good.
And then KO with him, he goes, you spelled it as no. It's E-N-G-O. You spelled it E-S-N-O.
There's two S's in Cass.
And then just Enzo and Cass coming out and just their dynamic.
Yeah.
Oh, it's like, you have the list.
Enzo and Cass having their own little microphones now. Those are pretty dope.
Yeah, snazzy.
The leopard print handles and then the old-timey metal heads on them.
And then Cass said, oh, you see you have a list, you'll check in it twice. What are you, Santa Claus? To which Jericho says, yeah, maybe I am. Maybe I'll come down there and sit on your lap. What?
Incredible.
What?
But the way he reacted when Cass was calling him out on it, just no, I didn't.
No,
I said I was gonna punch you in the face.
No, you said you want to sit on my lap.
Yep. So good. Yeah, we can't. Anything that we say, we're not gonna do this justice. Go and find the segment in its entirety. So good.
It's just so good.
Yeah.
I said I'd punch you in the face.
Oh, so great.
But hold on a minute, playa, because then this segment becomes
A tag team match.
You know it's the Mac Militant. Coming to get it on.
Good pull time.
Knew we'd get it in by the end of the night.
You thought we forgot. We didn't forget.
Oh, I forgot. Look, my brain is all over the place. Ty pulled it off.
Thank you for going super slow.
I knew. Yeah, exactly.
Well, the thing is, I'm trying to look at Rusev tweets and host, and I was like, I didn't know. Oh, got it.
It's a lot of moving parts on the Raw after show,
A lot
guys.
of moving parts, y'all.
Gotta remember these things.
Yes, so it becomes a tag team match. Enzo and Cass versus KO and Jericho. Enzo getting launched by Cass into both of them, but eventually leads to a power bomb to Enzo from KO for the W. So the best friends standing tall.
Yep. Yeah. And I love just like 80s bully Kevin Owens. Just every single time he got in Enzo's face about anything, especially when he's like mocking the dance on the apron.
Oh yeah,
it's
that was
pretty phenomenal.
Gorgeous. I absolutely loved when Enzo launched himself from the top rope and then Jericho countered.
Oh God, that drop kick.
Oh, that was great. And Enzo just like ragdoll on the mat. And then KO gets in his face like, oh my God, look at you.
It's really, really good.
Oh,
yeah.
that's so fun.
The last maybe half hour of this episode was incredible.
It really was. I mean,
it was a main event. I enjoyed it.
the chemistry that KO, and actually all four of these guys, obviously everyone knows Enzo and Cass, but KO and Jericho just keep getting better and better as a team, and this whole best friends thing is getting played up so much. Eventually, it's going to blow up, and I can't wait till it does.
Right, exactly.
But I'm in no hurry. I love the best.
No, yeah.
And I just want some more KO going like, you got knocked out.
Basically, exactly.
It's almost like when New Day were heels. Every time someone would get beat up, Xavier would go, "Oh my God, what happened to you?"
Right.
So antagonistic.
Yeah, amazing stuff.
It was
It's like, who beat you up? Who?
What happened? Those new Who shirts are pretty incredible
What
too.
happened? Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is it like the Tootsie Pop Owl?
No, but it's more kind of cartoony with the unicorns, but it just says "Whoo."
Oh, Jesus.
It's pretty amazing.
Before we go, should we do one more Machka tweet?
Let's.
Okay. From August 7th. I'm going back a little bit.
There you
here.
go.
So much talk for a guy who fights 15 matches. So much talk for a guy who fights 15-minute matches twice a year. Good for you, Conor McGaver. Just spelled the name wrong. It was great. And also, I don't know who made this photo where they switched Cesaro and Sheamus.
I saw that.
Oh,
I saw that.
wow.
Can we? Oh man.
I don't know who did that.
Would we be able to pull that up on the screen?
That'll
Mark
take a
Donovan?
little too long.
Damn. Okay.
It's terrifying.
It's
If you guys go to Rusev's Twitter feed, one of his most recent tweets is a retweet of a very, very weird image swap that someone did of Clash of Champions of Cesaro and Sheamus. It's
With the face.
super weird.
Yeah.
It's real weird, guys. It's the stuff of nightmares, is what I'm saying.
Nightmare fuel.
Yeah.
Pretty
You'll never
amazing.
unsee it.
Pretty amazing. But with that said, on this debate night, we had a heck of a Monday Night Raw after show. Let's all just put ourselves over. Ty Matthews.
Well, let's do that. You can find me on social media at Ty Matthews PMA. You can find me on Thursday nights, 9 o'clock p.m., except for this Thursday. It'll be at 11 o'clock this Thursday, but it's usually 9 o'clock. You can find myself. You can find Jimbo Frank. You can find Rachel Evans on the Lucha Underground after show. And, of course, you can watch me and Jonny Loquasto on Championship Wrestling from Hollywood, Saturdays, 4 p.m., Fight TV, Tough TV, Patreon, KDOC, U2 America, or if you're in Southern California and you're nasty, you can come find us for free at the Ocean View Pavilion every second and fourth Sunday of the month in Port Hueneme, completely
Sunday,
free.
October 9th. And look,
3 p.m.
If you haven't downloaded Fight TV yet, it's free. You could watch stuff from all over the world, and you could watch us every single week.
We really can't stress the free part enough, guys. It costs nothing to get this amazing wrestling into your brains. Drew Gulak was just there a matter of months ago. You can find all sorts
And
of talent.
Brian Myers.
Absolutely.
Kurt Hawkins is back. Guess what? He was wrestling on our show.
The Prince of Queens.
Yeah, absolutely. So
Get it.
Boom. Markeia McCarty.
Yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Markeia McCarty, MarkeiaMcCarty. Also Snapchat, Darth Thin Mints. Darth is in Vader. Thin Mints as in Girl Scout cookies. And you can also see me on Marvel Movie News tomorrow on Popcorn Talk at 11 a.m. It's nerdy, it's newsy, it's Marvel Movie News. And this Saturday, I've actually joined the team, The Revengers. They're comic book improv. And if you're in the Hollywood area, the show will start at 7 p.m. at Pack Theater. If you are not in the Hollywood area, this team actually has every show be canon for their particular comic book universe. So they record everything and it will go up online.
I super dig that.
So you will be able to
idea.
actually see my shows. So I'll post that on Twitter. And talking about posts on Twitter, I did a segment with Screen Junkies. Please explain Luke Cage. I have that pinned at the top of my Twitter. And since Luke Cage opens on Friday, September 30th on Netflix, why don't you have me explain Luke Cage for you
That way
first?
you know what you're watching.
See?
All right, at Jay Quasto, of course, make sure you follow the Wrestling Compadres at Fox Compadres. We had Melina in studio on Friday. Long interview. It was amazing. You're going to love it. We have so much more good stuff coming up. Brea Improv, I'm headlining October 29th, followed by a blood drive for Regular Hero, also in Orange County. If you're anywhere near there, hit us up. Come see some comedy. Come out and help some kids. Houston, Texas, November 4th and 5th. I am coming to you. But before we go, got to remind you that this episode is sponsored by Rush, directed by top action filmmakers Corridor Digital. It's a story of soldiers fighting against all odds in a war-torn nation, starring Stephen Ogg of Grand Theft Auto 5 and The Walking Dead, as well as starring Lou Ferigno Jr. The first episodes are live and free on the Go90 app and their website, www.go90.com. Go check it out ASAP. With that said, we love you guys. We'll see you next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.